Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast here on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. That's what we're called now. So keep that in mind, folks. For those of you who have subscribed, you don't need to resubscribe. Everything stays the same. We just renamed the channel with a different sponsor, Gambler's World. More exciting news to come in the future. But always, I'm joined by my two cohorts here. I shouldn't say always, a few times a week by my two cohorts here, Mr. Jesse Shule of jesseshule.com and Sean Higgs of picksandparleys.net. If you weren't with us yesterday, Sean had to bow out as he had a bout with food poisoning. So We're glad to see him back.
Like I said before we came on, it's good. A little stomach bump to knock off 5 pounds is excellent for the summer body. So it's good. I don't mind.
And Jesse said, look at Sean. If you would eat my barbecue, you'd never get food poisoning, right, Jesse?
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me very often, and I live in Thailand, so yeah, I must be lucky.
Jesse's a gourmet cook, folks, so not only is he a great handicapper, but he keeps the family fed well. And
Mr. Meat.
Yeah, and God forbid, I know I keep joking about this, but it was hysterical. If you would have saw the one day we had the podcast and Jesse had already started barbecuing and his wife took control while he was on the air. And he was just like, his attention, you could see he just wanted to tell his wife, no, don't do it that way. Do it this way. So hilarious. So he takes it quite seriously. Boys, 2 playoff games tonight in the NBA. Both home teams facing elimination, down 3-1 in the series. We're going to cover both games. And we're going to give an opinion pick on each one of those contests from all three of us. Normally I assign everybody a game, but there's only 2 games. So I said, why not just all three of us cover both games? And the boys are good with it. So I said, let's give it a roll. So let's start with the Knicks in Miami. Right now, the Knicks are a 3.5-point home favorite. The total's 209.5. And Miami leads the series 3-1, and quite frankly, looks like they're in total control right now. The Knicks just had no answers for Miami on the 2 games in Miami. And, I'm starting to believe that maybe this isn't a one-man show for Miami with Jimmy Butler. The supporting cast seems to be doing awfully well, Sean.
It's a surprisingly deep team. I think people forget that Miami's a good team, and this is a team that takes off during the year, right? They have a lot of guys sitting out with load management or sick or injuries, and next thing you know, here they come when push comes to shove. It's the talent is there. If you get overlooked by, say, like the Bucks team, and then an MVP kind of guy goes down, you're going to beat a team like that. You come face a Knicks team who, let's be honest, you beat a Cleveland team, young team. They're kind of happy to be there. All right, they brought in a big guy in the offseason, but it still is a what have you done for me lately team. So they beat that team and they're feeling good about themselves. Like, look at this. It's let's look at this Knicks team. They're a bad team. It's not a good team. I think it's limited on offense. I've mentioned the coach I don't like. This line was open at 4. How did it open at 4? It's 3.5. I'm shocked this game isn't like a pick'em. I mean, the Knicks can't score. They're scoring 100 points a game in this series. You're not going to win when the other team has a guy who could go for 50 anytime he touches the ball.
Yeah. So, and besides, what's more impressive about Miami's depth is they lost Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero in the Cleveland series. And still they get production off the bench and from a supporting cast, and boy, they share the ball well. And, Jesse, I agree with Sean. When it comes to the head coaching matchup in this series, Eric Spoelstra, head and shoulders a better coach than Thibodeau.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything Sean said. And Eric Spoelstra, obviously.
Jesse, you're a kiss ass. You got a man crush on Sean Higgs. Anyway,
I've got it all written down. I got the evidence.
I'm just being a wise guy, Go ahead, Jess.
But to be honest with you, though, what I wanted to say was, I pity the fool who wants to bet against Jimmy Butler in these playoffs. And what Sean didn't touch on is how the Heat are a better team in the playoffs. But Jimmy Butler, I mean, this guy, and not just this season, we've seen it in the past. He has the ability to step up his game that you only see from a few guys in NBA history, the MJs, the LeBrons, the GOATs. And I'm not saying Jimmy Butler is anywhere near that status, but he's proven that he can really elevate his game in the playoffs. There's no way I would want to step in front of that. And like Sean said, this game with Miami getting 4 points, 3.5 points, it looks a little ridiculous. I don't think you're going to need the points. I don't see how you bet against Miami here. It's Miami or pass, and for me, it's definitely Miami.
All right, so Sean Higgs and Jesse Shule both like the Miami Heat plus the 3.5.
And one last thing, Russ. Who's the guy in the Knicks is like, oh, well, I guess they want it more than us. Like, okay, that's really motivating for any Knick kind of backer going into a game where you're down at home.
I mean, he's just saying what everybody can already see, right? I mean, it's the most it's like grass is green. Yeah, they want it more than you, and we can all see that.
Yeah, and it goes hand in hand with this, guys. And hear me out on this, and then I'll hear your replies. But it's almost like the Knicks, they got by Cleveland in 5 games with relative ease, and then Milwaukee gets knocked off, and all of a sudden instead of having to face number 1 seed Milwaukee, you're taking on the Knicks. Or I'm sorry, I should just say it seems like they beat Cleveland. They wouldn't have played Milwaukee. My fault there. But, they would have played Milwaukee, right, guys? Because Miami beat Milwaukee. So it's almost like they're saying, well, we don't have to face the number 1 seed. We catch a break with Miami beating Milwaukee. It's an undermanned Miami team because they lost 2 of their key components that are key contributing factors above and beyond Jimmy Butler in the first series. And it's almost like they expected to go into this series and win. And Miami was going to lay down and they were going to come back to earth. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, you're getting statements like they want it more than us. So I don't know. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, I will point out, though, that a lot was made about the injury to Jimmy Butler and the Heat losing Oladipo. And who else did they lose?
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, Tyler Hero.
20 points a game. Yeah. So.
But the fact is the Knicks have been banged up as well, and that's gotten a lot less press because guys haven't really missed games, but they're not 100%. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, both playing at less than 100%. And that could have an effect on why they're getting outplayed so badly.
Sean, I mean, the other thing that I noticed in my observation is Miami is a much more disciplined team than the Knicks are. And that goes right to head coaching, right? Yeah. So, let me give you my take real quick. The Knicks have gone 7-2 to the under in 9 playoff games this season. Sean mentioned that they're scoring less than 100 a game in the playoffs, and that is absolutely correct. They're also, though, keep in mind, they're also giving up less than 100 points per game during the postseason. This is a Miami team that is number 29 in offensive pace, which that simply means is they like to play a slow tempo game. The Knicks, on the other hand, are number 25. So you really got 2 teams that prefer to play at a slow tempo, and the final scores in this series are indicative of such. And also the 4 meetings at Madison Square Garden between these 2 teams this year, 3 of them have gone under the total. This is a low total of 209.5. And rightfully so, but you'll still get a lot of people clamoring to bet the over because by modern day NBA standards, this is a low total. So I'm going to go under here. I'm going to go New York and Miami under 209.5. Jesse and Sean both like the Miami Heat laid at 3.5 points over the Knicks. All right, next game, guys. The Lakers in Golden State. 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Golden State is 7.5 point favorite as we speak in a total 226. Boys, the Warriors, the defending champions, the mighty Warriors, are down 3-1 to the number 7 seed and coming home. I personally feel like they're going to be very difficult to eliminate on their home floor, but it doesn't matter what I think right now. It matters what Jesse thinks.
Well, I think a lot has been made about the disparity in the free throws. And I don't want to get too conspiratorial, especially on this channel, although I'm going to do a deep dive on that subject on my own channel. But I will say that certain things are facts, and the facts are what they are. In the first 3 games of this series, 83-39 free throw disparity is the greatest disparity we've seen in the first 3 games of a playoff series since when? 2001. And who was that in 2001?
Lakers or the
It was
Kings?
LeBron James and the Miami Heat.
Oh.
So the same characters, and to a certain degree, whether you believe it's fair because it's different styles of play, because it's the way Anthony Davis plays down lower, or whatever reason you want to give, at the end of the day, perception is reality in this world, which is why a guy like Joel Embiid wins the MVP over a guy like Jokic, who was probably the more deserving candidate, in my opinion. So does the league, do the officials have that in mind, that they want to narrow that gap here in Golden State? Do we think at home in their own building with the fans behind them, will they get more calls? Will they get a bit of a boost? I think they will, and I think they're just a better team at home. I think particularly in the first quarter, first half. So I'm going to lean on that bet that we talked about the other day, the double result, which for those who didn't hear the other day was you're betting the first half and full game. So the Warriors have to be ahead at halftime and they have to win the game. You don't have to cover any points. They just have to be leading and win. And the price on that is right about the max where I'm allowed to go here, is 150. So I think avoiding laying the 7 or 7.5.
Like a school teacher at a bad elementary school, Jesse.
I'm sorry, Mr. Benjamin. I didn't mean to make you feel that way, sir. But we like the Warriors to win the first half and the game on the double result.
I know perception and reality. Perception is you guys are real good handicappers. Reality is you're great handicappers. Sean, what do you think? And again, I'm going to touch upon Jesse beating this foul shooting disparity to death. I addressed it yesterday. I'm going to address it today. And again, folks, Jesse said he's going to cover this more in detail on his video, which if you're not aware, he's got his own YouTube channel. Just look up Jesse Shule on YouTube, and he does a great job every day. And also Sean, by the way, great show, 7 days a week, midday money. He also does some stuff at night too, right, Sean? Look ahead lines.
Look ahead lines. I do usually around 9 o'clock Eastern. Now it's good. It's good. Apparently there's baseball, and it's shocking because it's mid-May and they have lines for almost all the games up the night before, which is a rarity. A lot of times it's like you got 4 games and you get the two TBD pitchers that seem to be on every team this time of year. But the look at lines goes until we get really light on the MLB matchups on the night before. So
there you go. All right, what's your take on this game, Sean?
So I want to watch Jesse's on the channel about the free throws, because I immediately go to what he said. Like, well, you got AD inside, LeBron kind of drives the ball more. You're going to get more free throws than a team like Clay and Curry just going to fire away from 3. But I look at this line at a 7. Are they not just begging you? Like the Lakers are down 3-1. Like, you got to take at 7. I think Golden State's going to run them out of. I think not run them out of building. Let's say a 116, 101, one of those. It's a defensive club. People forget they're a pretty good defensive team. We've seen some unders in this series already. Clay's off a bad game. Curry's off a bad game, right? Had the Clay shot at the end, towards the end. Like, people are like, what kind of shot is this by this guy? What do they have? 35, 36 wins at home this year. Obviously, really good home, 36-10, whatever they were. This is where they take care of business. I'm the conspiracy guy that thinks the NBA needs to spread things out to make their money. So, yeah, I think Golden State 117-104 winner here, and we go back to LA for a pivotal game, and I'm going to tune into Jesse. I want to see the free throw talk. I want to.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on face value. Like, I see AD and LeBron. I know they're more interior.
Let me give
kind
my
of guys.
take. Let me give my take on this free throw stuff. Look, first of all, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you're paranoid, and you might say you're not paranoid. It's just that everybody's after you. But I don't buy the conspiracy theory, and here's why. I mean, get used to it, folks. You're going to go into the game again tonight, and we're going to see Golden State go to the free throw line much less than the Lakers. Quite simply put, this is an ongoing thing that's happened all season long. Golden State goes to the free throw line in the bottom 5 of the NBA. They had the fewest free throws in the NBA on a per game basis, and they're in the bottom 5 of that category. While the Lakers get to the free throw line, if they're not the top team, they're in the top 2. So, Jesse, you might want to look that up before you do your segment, because I just think this is something that's it's not a conspiracy. It's a team tendency that actually teams tendencies that we've seen all season long from both of these clubs. So, having said all that, the Lakers are going to get to the free throw line more tonight, and live with it. So now you're going to have to make a decision. Is Golden State going to be able to overcome that? Well, they've overcame it all year. If you want to concentrate on the disparity, and this is just my opinion, and it's nothing, we can respectfully disagree. But if you want to concentrate on a disparity, concentrate on the fact that the Golden State Warriors have been horrible on the road this year. And they've been great at home. Sean just highlighted that. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on, because eliminating the Warriors at home against a number 7 seed is not going to happen, in my opinion. I'm very confident of that. As a matter of fact, the Lakers, if you look this year, they're 0-3 straight up in ATS in the postseason following back-to-back wins. They won game 3 and 4. And Golden State 4-0 straight up in ATS in their last 4 as a home favorite off back-to-back straight up losses. So, and since the 2014 playoffs, Golden State has faced elimination 11 times. They're 9-2 against the spread in those games. And if they're coming off a loss and facing elimination, they're 5-1 straight up in ATS. And folks, why I mention that, I don't like going back too far with team trends. Well, you have the core group of players all still there. Right? When I say core group, you're talking about Stephen Curry, you're talking about Klay Thompson, you're talking about Draymond Green. So I just think that Golden State, I agree with Sean, and I agree with Jesse. Golden State wins this game big. So me and Sean likes Golden State minus the 7, actually 7.5 over the Lakers. And Jesse, explain to the folks again, because I know this isn't something that comes up often in terms of a betting option, but you profess it to be pretty good, and I know you've done well with it. So explain the double action you got tonight with this game.
So the double result means you need both to be winners. You can't have any pushes. You need your team to be winning at halftime, and then they just need to hold on and win the game.
So you're talking you eliminate, straight up on both ends, correct?
Yeah, it's basically 2 money line plays parlayed, and you might think to yourself, well, why wouldn't I just parlay the two events? But because they're correlating, you're getting a better deal, right? They don't allow you to parlay correlating events like that. So
yeah, I think Golden State would be like over minus 300 for this game. If I'm
so you're getting them for half price
right
on the money line.
Yeah.
But they need to be winning at halftime. And like I said, the last time I gave out this play, it actually didn't work out. Yeah. But I'll say what I said then again. If Golden State's not winning by halftime, they're in big trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Golden State's not winning by halftime, your bet is done. You can go to sleep because it's a late game on the East Coast. Or in Jesse's case, you could eat the rest of your breakfast and not have to supervise your wife's cooking. So, all right, let's get to, again, let's review, folks, the Knicks in Miami. Both of these gentlemen, Jesse and Sean, like the Miami Heat minus 3.5. Ross Benjamin, yours truly, is going to go under 209.5 in that game. Both me and Sean like the Golden State Warriors minus 7.5 over the Lakers. And Jesse likes a double action where you put both Golden State to be up at halftime and win the game, and you get odds of minus 150 if both come true. So basically, you're going to lay 150 to win 100 on Golden State being ahead at halftime and winning the game straight up. So there you go. Those are the picks from all of us for tonight's games, plural, Wednesday, May the 10th. Thank you again, folks, for all your kind comments. Again, they don't always have to be kind in terms of agreeing with us all the time, but just keep it respectful, folks. And you guys have done a great job of doing that. We appreciate it. We also appreciate all the comments And what's really refreshing to me is the comments that are coming in that people are learning and picking up new things as opposed to just concentrating on the free picks, because this is in, folks. We're all pros. This isn't just three guys that have nothing better to do to get together every morning and talk, but we sell picks for a living. So it would be unfair for us to make it on a consistent basis to be giving you the games that our paying clients pay for and give them out for free. And I hope you could understand that. That's business 101. But having said that, our free picks have done awfully well. If you go back over the last 2 months now, we've been hitting at a very high rate, folks, in the high 50 percentile. So not bad, guys. Anyway, Jesse, tell the folks what they could expect at jesseshul.com over the next few days and how you've been doing of late.
All right. Well, we had a good day yesterday, and we are testing a 10-1 NHL totals run in tonight's NHL game. And yeah, you can get that at jesseshul.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Jesse Shul and on YouTube at Jesse Shul Picks.
There you go, jesseshul.com. You go to sportsmemo.com right now, and I'm just mentioning Sports Memo because Jesse's on top of the leaderboard the last 30 days, and he's been that way, I don't know, Jesse, for the last couple of weeks anyway, right? Somewhere around there, a week and a half or so.
It's been a couple of weeks, but since you mentioned it, Ross, since January 1st of 2022, I'm number one overall at Sports Memo with units earned and win percentage and all that stuff.
Well, I'm glad I could help you promote something. Anyway. I also had
that's the kiss of death. I just angered the gambling gods again.
Like
I'm in big trouble tonight.
The guy's embarrassed that he wins too much. Come on, man.
You can't hide your wins. You can't do it, Ross. You know
big
that.
chest out.
Ross is goading me into bragging. I just ruined my luck.
That's it. 1 and 2 night income.
And the next time you go perfect, I want that wig on. Anyway, the next podcast. Anyway, Sean, tell the folks, picksandparleys.net. We're already briefed everybody on your two podcasts you do in the morning and evening. The guy's a trooper, 7 days a week, folks. His show, you can get it at the Picks and Parleys YouTube channel, various other streaming platforms on the internet. He could fill you in more on that. But Sean was the number one handicapper in the NFL this past year at picksandparleys.net. And if you haven't been to picksandparleys.net, folks, you got us three on there and some really, really good handicappers. And Sean was the best of all of us in the NFL. But he loves his baseball. Sean, tell us what's going on.
I do, yeah. So Mr. Sean Higgs on Twitter. If you're in the Twitter universe there, come say hello. Baseball, 148 and 150 plus 621. A little more. I'm not a sniper like Jesse when it comes to the games, putting out a game or two. I like to fire away. But I'll be honest, today, I don't have anything today. I'm looking. I really don't love the baseball card. So NBA and hockey, though, I do have a little bit of action up for today. But again, going forward, I'm going to be more concentrating on baseball. And I do got a player prop here. I went 0-2 the other day with our player props. I'm going to throw out a D'Angelo Russell under 2.5 threes. It's minus 115. 0 for 4, 5 of 8, 0 of 3, and 1 of 5. So 2.5, I think he's going under that. He's not sinking 3 threes. He's done it once, and that was maybe a fluke. And in a game like this, I see him being not a major factor. So there's a little prop for you, a little bonus under 2.5 threes, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, instead of focusing on that 0-2 the last time, remember, folks, the video before that or the show before that, he went 2-0 on his player props. So it's not like this guy is terrible on player props. So D'Angelo Russell is a bonus pick from Mr. Sean Higgs under 2.5 3-point makes this evening against the Golden State Warriors. Until the next time. Well, let me plug myself real quick, if that's okay, guys. Is that all right, Jesse?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, got anything on the grill? All right. My NBA side since the postseason began, 24-11, 69%, 1-1 split again last night for the second night in a row. I had the Denver Nuggets, but the Boston Celtics guys, that were terrible. And also NBA overalls, all picks in the NBA since April the 12th, 26-16, which is good for 62%. And dime players during that course of time in the NBA playoffs have made over $8,000. So rbwins.com. Remember, folks, it's nice you come here every day, get your free pick winners. But remember, we do this for a living, so we would appreciate if you visit our websites and purchase some plays so we could put money in your pocket, whether it be a subscription plan or a daily package. Until the next time, for Jesse Shule, Sean Higgs, and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Good luck and God bless, folks.